7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, unité, top.
And we have engine start. And liftoff.
Décollage.
Decollage, liftoff from a tropical rainforest to the edge of time itself. James Webb begins a voyage back to the birth of the universe.
What can I say? The Union LA Jordan 2 Rattan is my favorite sneaker so far in 2022. From concept to design to the execution, Union LA took a less popular retro silhouette in the Jordan 2 and elevated it into this futuristic cyberpunk-esque shoe that does look like it's straight out of a far-off utopian society. When I look at the shoe, I immediately equate it to Ziggy Stardust, Fooly Cooley, Blade Runner, Daft Punk, Fifth Element, and Nujabes. Chris Gibbs and his team at Union LA set out to create a shoe built on the concept the future is now. And the common thread in my list is that each person or movie or thing was just a way ahead of their time. And this shoe just is out of time and out of space. You know, there's this saying, carpe diem, seizing today, and a lot of people are trying to figure how to do that. But I think an even better principle in life is carpe mañana, seizing tomorrow. It's looking beyond today. It's about having a vision about what tomorrow can look like and knowing that it's up for grabs. It's about taking the sacred and traditional, keeping the best of who we are today, and then taking us into that new world together. We are the pioneers of the future. We create the opportunities we want to see, and we take those opportunities for ourselves. And that's what the Union 2s signify to me. When you look at it, it feels like a sneaker that an astronaut would wear to the moon. It's a sneaker that like a modern Captain Kirk would wear on the Enterprise. When you think about the original expressions of the OG Jordan 2s, they give off this dress shoe, tuxedo-like vibe. But when you think about this Union collaboration, it's less prim, it's less proper, it's more deconstructed, and it's textured with a cyberpunk edge to it. Very high-tech, very low-life. But what about this collab contributes to this feel? First of all, the upper materials and the color blocking create a very interesting contrast in tone and feel. If you look at the OGs, the different panels and lines are less noticeable because most of the upper is all uniformed in that traditional white leather. But look at what Union LA does here. Different materials, different tones, different patterns, and it comes together to create a tonally different type of style and feel. Something that takes the Jordan 2 into this modern era. We've been in the era of deconstruction. We've been in the era of remix when it comes to sneakers. We want to see the materials underneath. We want to see this sort of postmodern avant-garde feel that has that vintage aged feel as well as something that's brand new, something that we haven't seen before. Look what Union does here with the upper. Around the toe and the lace eyelets and the mid panel, you got gray suede. And one of the coolest details about the sneaker is the orange leather underneath the suede on this mid panel area. It accents the panel's borders, and it can also be seen through the prominent holes that you see here. By the way, the suede and the orange underneath combined create a really thick material. It creates a layer that feels really, really good. It's quite substantial, and it gives it a premium feel. And then when you switch over to the toe box area, the upper ankle panel, and the tongue, you find this rugged, strong canvas in this lighter cream tone. This canvas feels really, really stiff in a good way, like it's going to crease and age really well over time with the rest of the sneaker. When you look at the upper overall, what you get is contrasting materials, contrasting tones, two unique sets of patterns. It's a shoe that has two distinct ideas kind of converging into a unified shoe. It's provocative, it's paradoxical, it represents both old and new, and it's somewhat, in some ways it pulls in two different directions, and yet it perfectly marries together. Real quick, in terms of branding, you got the now staple Union LA yellow gold tag on the lateral side of the eye stays, an iconic detail now. You got the tongue tag that is sewn in with that signature Union zigzag pattern and a very classy Jumpman logo. It feels custom, feels raw, it feels a little bit incomplete, and yet intricate and interesting. It feels really, really nice. And unique to this collaboration in this shoe is the lateral ankle tag that wraps around the collar and has the Nike Wings logo. And it includes on the tag this HO21, which represents holiday 2021. I think putting timestamps on shoes in creative ways is such a cool idea. Put the release date on there. I think that shows a little bit of that documenting process. And it almost like becomes this capsule, you know, on the shoe when these shoes came around. Last major thing, let's focus on the midsole and outsole area. I think what Union did here is very significant actually, even though it's a relatively small change. Instead of creating a midsole with multiple colors like on the OGs, they made it seem more uniform from front to back. This small change is the reason these sneakers look more boot-like and modern compared to the other Jordan 2s that we've seen. Now, it's hard to tell unless you have really good lighting, but the entire sole is actually made up of two slightly different tones. The outsole panel gradually extends into the midsole at the front of the shoe. It's a pleasant light cream when you look at the bottom of the sneaker. I love the blue, and I love that the shoe size is also there. Overall, a very tasteful and beautiful collaboration by Union and Jordan Brand. They took the old school Jordan 2 DNA, deconstructed it, re-scrambled it, and then made it into this modern and futuristic style. The desaturated color tones, especially on this rattan colorway, accents this paradoxical vintage novel feel. It looks timeless, both having that aged vintage feel as well as that modern futuristic look. And that's why this is one of the best collaborations of the year. The execution, the style, the concept just works really, really well. And it creates this unique look in the sneaker. Yes, the release could have been better. I was one of the people that had to deal with delays and the whole ordeal of getting charged and then buying them again. But I know that the problems came out of their attempt to make it even more difficult for bots and resellers to work so that people like me, manual coppers, could have a better chance. And I can't knock them for that effort. I think that's an important part of sneaker culture today. And at the end of the day, I was lucky to get a pair. And so I'm super happy, I'm super grateful. I feel very, very lucky that I'm able to have these in my lineup. It's the perfect summer sneaker for me. It's such a unique style. And I think Union honored the Jordan 2 while staying true to their own design aesthetics. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. I'll meet you in the comment section below. Connect with me on social media, and I'll definitely catch you in the next video. Peace.